abortion and all that, and the
Yep.
leak, guns and the tragedies of the last 2 weeks, maybe even 1/6 and the drip of revelations, any of that, whatever the basic dynamic is. And Congressman, you very rightly correct me, and thank you to distinguish between Biden and the party. But are these issues enough to any of them going to bounce out of what would normally be maybe secondary status to the economy and just a general rendering of a verdict on the incumbent, and actually be game changers that'll knock Republicans off balance?
I can say that Democratic women are energized, they're galvanized, they are angry as hell, and the sort of apathy, resignment that maybe folks were feeling about inflation, the economy, and you know, I think that this has been sort of a double gut punch, to folks who are feeling like, maybe I was sort of sitting this out and now I just can't afford to sit out getting involved, helping, donate to candidates, and looking differently at candidates who are going to, put forth, who are willing to eliminate the filibuster, who are willing to, codify Roe, who have been talking about, the women's right to choose being eviscerated, who have sort of the background behind it to show the sort of commitment to it, to show that they're going to be on board. I think we've, as I mentioned, I've been paying attention closely to Wisconsin, and we've seen even a shift. The three top candidates, there's now three candidates in play. One of them has seen a real bounce, Sarah Godlewski, who, full disclosure, is a friend of mine, but she's seeing a bounce because of the leaked Roe opinion, and she is now seen as sort of the leading voice on that in Wisconsin. Now we're still in primary season, but having Sarah, if she wins the primary, go up against Ron Johnson, I mean, it's a whole different game than having not having leadership on that issue. I just think that, and that doesn't mean that only women can speak to it, of course, but I think that there is this energy that female candidates and that women are looking towards them to save us, because frankly, we've had 50 years of something like Roe not being codified, or gun control sort of spiraling out of control these last few years, and feeling like that we need somebody who's going to prioritize these issues.
I agree with Julie, and I just want to note that Republican single issue voters are fairly reliable and consistent, whether it's on abortion or on guns. It's not clear to me how much additional marginal voters Republicans are going to be able to get on those two issues. Yeah. But for Democrats, we have a lot of folks that are infrequent voters. And if the Supreme Court is going to overturn Roe v. Wade, which I think they will, I think that's going to get a lot of infrequent voters to show up at the polls in November, because they know that abortion is on the ballot. And with the gun issue, I think you could get some infrequent voters to show up in November as well. So I think these two issues will end up helping Democrats more than Republicans.
I would say of those three, unfortunately, I don't think the gun issue is really gonna be meaningful for Democrats. I think January 6th, who knows? We'll see with these hearings, but I think abortion and what seems to be almost certainly the imminent rejection of Roe is the thing that can actually change the entire outcome of the midterm election. The one thing I would say, though, is that I think it's really going to come down. Democrats as a party, as candidates, there are very specific things that they need to do to activate that as an issue. Now, I'm not saying no one's paying attention now, but I'm saying to take it from where it is now to something that can actually make a very significant difference in who controls Congress in January 2023.